Hello, welcome to Inside Our Chest, where you get exclusive access that will boost your grade. I'm your host, Wilkenson D. Today's guest is Ms. Duran. Welcome.
Thank you, Wilkenson. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me.
Today's topic is life of immigrant. So tell us about the topic. How long have you been in the country?
Well, I have been in the country for 20 years.
Okay. Was it difficult to learn the English the language?
Well, I would say, yeah, it has its difficulties, but it's not impossible, you know. I had to overcome speech impairment. I used to stutter a lot, so I was able to, you know, it was a little bit more difficult. But then, as long as you put the effort, and as long as you see it as a goal, I think it's doable to learn the language. Yes.
Was it hard to leave your family behind?
Yes, it was terribly hard. I left my mother, my grandmother. Most of my family was still living in Colombia, and I came to live with my father. Yeah, it was really hard to leave them behind.
Tell me about your faith and your accomplishment.
Well, failures and accomplishments. Yeah, I had many failures, and it is okay. You know, like I told you, you know, the fact of not knowing the language, you know, doing well in school, struggle, you know, to understand and comprehend the concepts in the classroom when you don't speak the language well, you know, that, you know, carries a lot of failures. But once again, failures actually, you can see it one way, they can build you up. Okay, so that's how I have taken it. You know, in order for me to succeed in my education, which is one of my main goals when I first came here, I had to overcome failures, okay? And maybe improve and then try again, to not give up. And in terms of accomplishments, I've been blessed, once again, of having this personality that, you know, I cannot stop, I will have to try again, and you know, I've been able to succeed in my professional, you know, goals, and I became a teacher. I think that has been one of my main accomplishments when it comes to my professional life.
Okay. Tell me about your family.
Well, I have two daughters. One is 14, and I have a 11-year-old daughter. I live with my husband, my mother, my father, and they're really important for me, my family. Yeah.
What is the best thing we can do for those students who don't speak the English language?
There's a lot to do. I feel that number one is to make them feel welcome. Okay. Number two is to understand what, you know, that they are not able to understand the language, they might not know the culture, and so help them transition. I firmly believe that students that already know the language and everything, they should support their classmates, the newcomers, guide them, you know, the first days of school, help them, always advise them, you know, in regards to the rules to follow. I think that classmates should support each other, you know, mostly for these newcomers, and because there's a lot to learn when you first come to a country.
Well, that's it for today. We want to thank our guest, Ms. Nevys, for joining us today, and be sure to tune in next time for another edition of Inside Our Chest. I'm your host, Wilkenson D. Have a great and good day.